So council leaders are calling for the ban on term time holidays to be scrapped, saying head teachers should be able to decide themselves whether or not pupils can be taken out of school. Currently, parents face fines if their children miss class, but now there are concerns that a change in the rules would only add to the confusion. Francis Gilbert is a teacher and author of Working the System, How to Get the Very Best State Education for Your Child. He joins us from central London. And Kate Andrews from the Adam Smith Institute is here with me in the studio. Francis, first of all, what do you make of this latest development?
Well, I think that the law should stay as it is. Teachers have got the ability to grant leave in exceptional circumstances. I've found in my 25 years of teaching that it's incredibly disruptive to have children take holidays during term time. And furthermore, the sorts of children that do take these holidays or are off school don't do well in the long run. So we're not doing the children any favours by allowing them, just to take freely holidays during term time. And I think, we just need to leave things as they are.
Kate Andrews, why does the Adam Smith Institute feel so strongly about this issue?
We're talking about 10 days worth of term time in which kids can take holidays that's now been banned. And this ban has destroyed the distinction between true truancy and legitimate learning experiences that can exist outside of the classroom.
How has it done that?
Well, parents have to have the right to educate their kids outside the classroom, and travel is an excellent way to do that. Whether they're traveling to Rome for an arts tour or traveling up to see their grandparents, to learn about what their parents were or grandparents were talking about in the 1940s. These are legitimate forms of education. And what this ban has done is it has actually suggested that any education that doesn't happen within 4 government-sanctioned walls isn't education at all.
Francis Gilbert, these are the comparisons we constantly get given, is that on the one hand, people say it's terrible to stop parents from taking their children away on great educational tours to the art galleries of Florence and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Whereas the other side, we hear what they're really doing is sneaking them away for a quick skiing holiday. What's your experience?
Well, my experience is that generally those sorts of parents are not pulling their children out of school for extended periods of time, and that the problem is that I've come across many students from disadvantaged backgrounds who are being pulled out of school to look after sick relatives and that sort of thing, and it's very unfair on those children if you have rules that are too lax. And also it's unfair that a lot of resentment is caused when someone goes on holiday and then someone else isn't allowed to. If you open the floodgates, then everyone is going to start taking time off, because it's so expensive during term time to take a holiday, during holidays to take a holiday away, as it were. So, I think we have to be quite firm and strict about this. Otherwise, we're just going to have a free-for-all that will not help our children's education at all.
Okay, I mean, Kate, there's a lot of good points in there. I mean, no one wants a nanny state, of course, but at the same time, parents are not necessarily the best educators or the best judges of their children's time.
Why are we growing towards a society that wants to say that parents don't know their kids better than the state? There are a few issues with what was just discussed. First of all, the people that this ban is really harming are the less fortunate and the less well-off. Wealthy parents won't be afraid of the fine that comes with taking their kid out of school, but these threats of fines and even potential threats of jail time if those fines aren't met are stopping parents who scrapped and saved for a holiday for taking their kid away when it's more affordable.
A holiday or an educational experience abroad?
Both are great. We're living in a time where crime rates are up and the family is falling apart. An education can equal a ski holiday for lots of young kids. Bonding with their parents, I think we can all agree, is equally as important. And again, parents who abuse the system, people who are taking kids out of school to take care of sick relatives or trying to stop them from getting an education, we already have legal systems in place to deal with those things. We're talking about 10 days.
I suppose, Francis Gilbert, one of the arguments is, should we decide whether or not the education system is there to accommodate children, or whether the education system is there to create better adults for our own countries, our society, even our economies?
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to think about what's school for, and obviously we have to believe in the system that, children are going to school and they're really benefiting from it, and the vast majority of children do. And I think that the problem is that, if you start allowing richer parents to sort of buy their way out of the system, that's just not fair, is it? And of course it'll be the kind of more powerful ones that will have more persuasive arguments. I think you just have to treat children equally and have a quite a strict rule that during term time you are expected to go to school, surprise surprise, because otherwise you're not going to learn properly, and holidays are the time for going away, and I think that's the system we've got at the moment.
Okay, Francis, I want to interrupt you. I want to get the final thought there. We are out of time. Kate, I mean, there's a former teacher talking about opening the floodgates. He has concerns about what families would do if those sort of restrictions were lifted.
This ban is what is allowing wealthy parents to work the system. We live in a time where the state is getting involved in national curriculums, telling parents sometimes that they can't even send their kids to school with packed lunches. I think allowing parents to take a bit more time with their kids outside of school to do educational and fun things can only be a bonus.
Okay, Kate Andrews, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Kate Andrews from the Adam Smith Institute. And our thanks also to Francis Gilbert as well. Thank you both for joining us here on Sky News this afternoon.